I think we're live. Hello, folks.
Hello,
Except
hello.
all of my comments just disappeared from view. That was awesome. Hi, Amber.
You talking to me?
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Amber sounds like shit.
I gotta apologize for my raspy voice. I caught COVID, so yay! I'm getting over it, but I'm still
You sound sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's any consolation.
I should start my own 1-900 number, shouldn't
I
I?
think it's OnlyFans. If I have a hands OnlyFans, you need a voiceover OnlyFans. I think that's what's happening here. I think that's what we should do.
All right.
There's a bunch of people in the chat. Our typical remodding tonight. Thank you, Run. I'm glad you're here. CB Slinger, our local hemorrhoid. He's not an asshole. He annoys the assholes, making him a hemorrhoid, as he likes to put it. Margaret says there's no sound. Please tell me that you can hear us. Please tell me she can hear us. Oh my God, I can see sound. Y'all can hear us, can't you? Margaret says no sound. I'm glad No, we're talking to the other Amber. I need to know if there's sound. Somebody puts, I'm not a lip reader. Can he? Okay, Robin can hear. Eureka. Holy crap. Okay, they can hear us because they heard the hemorrhoid. I know he can't read lips because he heard the hemorrhoid comment. Okay, there we go.
Good deal. Good deal.
What the crap? Back to identifying, trying to recognize people, and they're like, can't read, can't hear. Texas Bluebonnets is here. Shannon is here. I thought Margaret. Who else did I see? I saw Robin. That's my big sister. And who else? I think there's some of you guys are hiding in the background, which is cool. I'll take the little lurkers in the background. That's awesome. We like the people who lurk in the background. But you should come up and talk, no matter what. You should always come up and talk. Hi, Kelly. Thank you guys for being here tonight. So a couple of things before we go back to conversation from last week, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up where we kind of left off, because there was a couple of things I wanted to cover that we didn't get a chance to. But first, you guys will notice Katie. Oh, Katie's in the background, and she's yelling at me to let her in. There she is. Hi, Katie.
That's right. I am yelling at you. Yes,
I knew.
I wasn't. But I honestly didn't. I'm in my camper.
Oh gosh.
To get away from everyone, and I didn't know if Wi-Fi would. I didn't know if it would work this far. So
oh my
I'm glad to know that it does.
Katie is amazing because Katie will do the show from the closet, from the porch, on her walk out in the country, in her damn camper. Where won't you do the show at? Oh my God.
I will do it everywhere, Tara. Everywhere.
You are so loyal. I love it. That is awesome. That is amazing. So if you're coming out the campers, I like coming out the closet, but on a bigger scale. Like, what is that?
Well, I'm trying to find a good, I will turn my video on here in a second. But another thing is my dog, Max, he knows that he's following me around. Yeah. And he followed me right in here. So I'm trying to have to get, himself down.
Oh,
I know. He's so sweet.
Do you have so I was just talking to Amber before we went live. She has a glass of, you were drinking wine, weren't you, Amber? You had a glass of wine.
I've got a Pinot Noir right here next to me.
I have a glass of wine too, Amber, right next to me. Yes.
All right.
What do you have, Katie?
Show it here in a second.
What brand?
I don't remember the name of the wine.
So this is why we drink with caution at Katie's house when she brings out wine, because you don't know what she's going to serve. It could be a sweet wine and Tara falls over. This is what happens.
Well, I want to see that happen again. One day in my life, I want to see that happen again.
Oh my gosh.
I love to get people drunk. I love to get people drunk and see what they do.
Right. I've got a Cabernet, but I'm not sure it's my favorite Cabernet. Right. I've got a Cabernet, but I don't know that it's my favorite one. We'll see how it goes tonight. If I don't like it, I'll switch over to my coffee and my water without a problem.
Coffee and water, Tara. God.
If this wine and I don't get along, I'm telling you, wine doesn't upset my stomach very often, but this one and I are like, it's a new one. I've not had this one before. So, but I know that somebody in the chat has Jameson Black, and I'm a little bit envious because I love Jameson Black. I'm like, oh, that actually sounds really good right now. But I have Jameson Orange, which I've been cursed at, so I'm not going to bring it up again because they didn't like the fact I had but I'm Irish, so Irish whiskey's my thing. But whatever. So, we're just getting started. What we're going to do is we are going to pick up the conversation from last week because we didn't cover everything I wanted to cover. There's a couple more things I wanted to go back over and take care of. And then, but before we do that, a couple of things I want to address. As most of you know, and it's already been in the chat, and I appreciate that, Run for Justice. Carrie's daughter went on to a better place last week. She was involved in a tragic car accident. So Carrie may or may not be lurking in the background herself, but she won't be joining us tonight, unfortunately. She does need that time to kind of process what she's going through. But I can tell you, I talk with Carrie almost every day, and the words of support, the prayers, the good wishes, the good vibes, all the positivity you guys have been sending her, either through her cell, the burner, YouTube, Facebook, however you guys have been reaching out to her. She has been, I know people say it all the time, it almost sounds cliche to say that she is overwhelmed with the support, but she really can't express how valuable it has been for her the last few days. This is not something she was prepared for. This is not something she ever thought she'd have to deal with at all. And so I can tell you unequivocally that she really does take those words into high value. And so everybody has asked me what they could do for Carrie. Just keep sharing that positive support. It makes a big difference for her. So there's that. The service for her daughter will be Saturday. I'll be going down there to be with her. And so if there's anything that, if you guys want information about how to extend condolences and whatnot, well, find the Run. Can you find the can you you probably don't, if you don't know how to do it, let me know, I'll find it, but I want to put up her daughter's memorial page that you guys can go share the love and support on, because the entire family actually really does appreciate it greatly. So but eventually
I can add that to the chat if you'd like.
Yep, if you want to find that, if you would please, that would be awesome, Amber. Thank you. There's a lot of details surrounding that whole situation. When Carrie's ready to talk, she will come on Shenanigans and she will talk about it. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. Now is not the time to go through those. The family needs that space. And no, not the GoFundMe Run. It's actually her daughter's her memorial page. I think Amber's got it, because I think I shared it with Amber and the girls. Maybe it's, if you can't find it, let me know.
I've got the GoFundMe. Okay, I don't have the other.
We can post the GoFundMe. I think that's not going to hurt. I know they hit their.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Yep, I would. I know the GoFundMe, the goal was hit, but they were super modest in that goal. I was kind of surprised. Hello, Biscotti. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. And I saw somebody else, Bandit. I saw Bandit. Hello. We're just getting started. But I'll find the memorial page from the funeral home that's hosting the service on Saturday. So you guys can go visit that and offer your well wishes there. So eventually she's going to come around and come talk about it. So, but I know that the love and support that she has received has definitely given her the space she has needed to try and navigate through this ordeal. And it is hard, because I knew Megan as well, her daughter, and it is surreal to think. I wasn't ready for the information, and I'm not near. Obviously, she's not my daughter, but it's too much. So we will circle back around to that. And then in other news, I know some of you are concerned, and I appreciate the concerns, that there is a creator that has been happily talking about me. That is okay. Shenanigans is all about talking, and while the discussion hasn't been brought to this channel, it is welcome here. So if there are individuals who don't like me and want to share their distaste and their disgust with me here, I invite you to come up here and talk about it. I don't mind hearing shit about me. And ask Amber. She has seen me be bitched out multiple times. I don't mind it. Come on up and share your opinion. Doesn't mean I share it with you, but you're more than welcome to express it here. So open invite for anybody who has a bone to grind or a bone to pick with me or an axe to grind with me, you're more than welcome to come up here and I'll listen to you. There's really nothing to defend. So,
and I will record it. I will. If there's a way to record it, I will record it, and that I'm here for you.
I know it. She's going to record it just to look what they said to Tara, and they were absolutely right. That's what she's going to do with me here. That's
I am. Oh no, no. No. I will go to bat for any one of my close friends, and Tara is one of them, and I will have a word with you.
A word. I've never seen Katie have a word. There's at least several up in there, but I appreciate that. I'll. It's awesome.
You're welcome.
So
it'll be a million words, but whatever.
It would be.
Okay. Yeah.
That's I see what I mean to you. You love me. That's what I tell Bo all the time. You love me. You like me. Somebody asked you, damn it. So that is where we were at with all that stuff. We'll keep you guys posted, and I'll go grab where is it at? Let me grab that link for you guys real quick. If it'll load, there we go. Copy. Oops. All right, there we are. And paste. All right. Yes, Ren, I know you've got me too. There's some really great. Sarah's the goat. You know what's funny about that? My zodiac is the Capricorn, which is the goat. It actually works out. I'm kind of excited about that. That's funny. You guys are awesome. We've got amazing support in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. And I love the humor you guys put behind the support too. That means the world to me. So with that, let's backtrack to last week, where we talked about you're in a romantic relationship and your partner is texting somebody that is the same sex as you. And I'm trying to be as PC about that, but in a shortened sense, if our guys were texting other women, how would us girls feel about that? Because they're platonic relationships, they're friends. And so I know we're all pretty much okay-ish with it, I think. I don't know, because I don't think we actually got to that part of the conversation where it was he's got a female friend that he's had for a while. Or just to complicate things, maybe she's a new friend. Can he text
I'm gonna just jump in here.
Oh, good. Because I'm tired of talking, damn it. There's wine I need to argue with over here.
No, I'm sorry. Well, what you said earlier, like, hey, they say they're a platonic. It's all about like distrust and amongst, like, when I heard that, I'm like, hey, that's all well and good if you think that your partner is telling the truth. I mean,
would you think they're telling the truth?
Yeah.
Isn't that a conundrum of a sentence? When I think you're telling the truth, like, that can't be a sentence of confidence right there, right? That's a little bit of nerving.
No, well, here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna say. I know we are all over the internet, social media. I talk to my children, it's just like you can't ignore it. And so when you go past certain things, statistics or information or articles, whatever you want to call it, you're going to come across some of this information about, not being honest and so much cheating, but, whatever. So I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
No, go. Do it. Because
I'm just like, I don't want to curse. Tara, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to curse. You can curse too. We can curse tonight. There's been a lot of trauma.
It's okay.
There's been a lot of trauma this week
Let
for
it
everybody.
out.
Yes,
It's
SheNanigans. We're not supposed to be well-behaved. Well-behaved women rarely make history. Damn it, do it.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, Tara, you know what? I bought a Christmas ornament that said exactly that.
I know.
So
and I agree with it.
I do agree with it. I do. I just was, because right now in my world, every other word would be fuck.
It's a cathartic thing. It saves us $1 million on counseling fees. When I honestly believe that. I know I get a lot of, I take a lot of shit from some of my language from some people. I'm like, it's either that or I throat punch people, and orange is not my color. Neither are stripes, quite honestly. So take your pick. Never mind. I already picked for you. I'm going to curse. It's totally fine. I've said worse things. I've actually started using words I never thought I'd use before. But I have a UK friend, so I have a example to follow. Like I never thought I'd use the C word before, but I actually
That's
did.
one of my favorite words. I love the C
She
word.
lit up.
Oh my
God.
gosh, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, but the thing is like that was what it took for me too, because like working for European companies, and they use that word all the time. I mean, for them, it's, you're just referring to
it's no big
anybody.
deal. But
So I adopted it into my vocabulary.
So, and I have now too, which is funny because now I make fun of my British friend, tell her it's her fault, but she's half my age. So she tells me I should have been the example. It's good exchange. At any rate, Katie, going back to our little issue here.
Yeah, sorry, I got dropped. Yeah, like I'm heading back to the house now because I realized, oh no, it's not. It's gonna disconnect and I can't.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah.
Dang.
So go ahead and talk, and I will try to walk and talk with my dog. Go ahead.
This should be interesting. We're going to need that video on.
Yeah.
I know. So with Bo and I, we're both pretty independent people, and we had relationships and friendships, prior to getting together. And he did text his ex-girlfriend for like the first 2 years of our relationship, but I would get the screenshots.
Oh my God. I just have to stop here real quick because
That's not what you think.
No. That's why I was like, oh, I wouldn't like that.
So it was a complex situation because Bo and I worked at the same place, and we both rolled up to the same boss, although we were in 2 different departments. And so per the policy of the employer, we could technically date. However, there had been a reputation that our boss had achieved when she would find out that people were dating in the bank. One would magically not have a job anymore. And so when Bo and I started dating and we got serious kind of quick, and we thought, okay, so what if we get really serious? Now what? I'm like, well, I hate my job, so I'm leaving no matter what. You or not you, I don't care. And he thought, okay, it's great because he had a leadership position. He was one of the VPs at the employer that we were at. And so it's like, okay, well, this makes sense. And so we were very, very quiet. There was only a select couple of people that knew, only because we hung out together. We were like this little friendship group. We did everything together. We'd go on float trips and the different things. And so we just, nobody knew inside the bank except these people, and they were sworn to secrecy and likely death because I would lose my job, and I had not found another one. That was the thing. I was trying to get out of there for 18 months. And so his ex-girlfriend, who also worked at the bank with us, was still texting him, but it was in the fashion of so a lot of it was work. A lot of it was work related because he'd always felt the need to send me the screenshots. I'm like, this is boring. Like, give me something to work with here. I don't even see what this is. Hold on, Katie, give me just a second because I can't see you. And now I can't. I have to always take somebody out the studio and add them back. Oh, there's Max.
Yeah, I was trying to just like before I went inside, just do a little like, hey, yeah, we're leaving. We're going inside. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, Max, you're interrupting the conversation. Go ahead.
He's adorable. So he didn't tell her he was dating anybody because he didn't want to have to answer questions. He was trying to keep it as kosher as possible, but he also was not like, hey, let's go grab a coffee. And she never invited him anywhere. It was just random texts about this, that, and the other. And then one of the girls, it was a friend of ours that knew about our relationship and knew the ex-girlfriend. They were working together one day, and there was a comment made about, I'm going to get Bo back. And my friend was like, oh my, okay, perhaps not. And
no,
so she
didn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, she came running to me. It's like, hey, so ex-girlfriend is got her eyes set back on Bo. You need to shut that down. And I was like, no, I'm not going to. And she's like, you have to get them to stop talking. I was like, look, if he can't make a decision on his own to stay with me and he's going to go back to that. And there's some stories in there. I'm like, really, if he's going to go back to that, he can go. Like, I'm not fighting for somebody that has to sit there and make it. Like, if you can't decide between me or her, I'll make the decision for you. This is not that hard. I can move on and you can move on. No big deal. And I waited. I didn't even tell him that this was happening, but he started to get more conversations from her. Like, she was going to buy a house and she's like, what do you think of this house? And which lender do you think I should go with? And he's just like, why is she asking me these strange questions? I'm like, I don't know. I can't imagine why she'd be asking you any of those personal type questions. I don't know. Bo, what do you think? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And so I just waited it out. And eventually, I was leaving the bank. I got another job and I had made my termination known. And we were like, okay, we can finally be open about this. So we were, and people were starting to find out. And one of our friends was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you and Bo were dating. I'm like, well, that was the damn point. So this rumor's going around about us. This other rumor's going around about some folks something within the banking system or whatever. I don't remember what it was. So this rumor that was going around in the bank that was on the business side, the ex-girlfriend had told Bo about it. And Bo was like, oh, okay, cool. I had already told Bo about it. And then the ex-girlfriend found out that I knew. She texts Bo and was like, what are you doing telling Tara this stuff? And he's like, well, when your ex-girlfriend texts you, I find it best practice to tell your current girlfriend. And I was like, you said that. And he sent me the screenshot. And sure enough. And I was like, you're never going to hear from her again. And he's like, yeah, I will. It's fine. He never heard from her again. She was gone with the wind.
Nice.
Yep. So to me, it was like, it wasn't my favorite thing about him, but at the same time, it's like, you're going to have to make a decision. And he was kind of blind. He didn't see it necessarily. To him, he's busy doing his work and she's asking more. It was nothing, like, it never mirrored anything in their relationship. So he's like, this doesn't even look like stuff she used to text me. Like, it's fine. Like, she's never asked me to go out and meet her up or help her out with anything or nothing. So to me, it's like, okay, that one I could, and he hasn't heard from her. Gosh, it was 6 years ago, I think. It's been several years. And he's got female friends. One of them I love, and I wish she'd come on. She will come on SheNanigans with us. She's a roller derby girl too. She's awesome. She's phenomenal. Her red hair is real. I love it. And she's adorable. You could tell her and Jim are truly besties. But they're totally cool too. They've got that kind of like that cousin, brother, sister vibey thing. But they don't talk every day either. But I don't know. Those are the kind of things. No, with the previous ex, yeah, if he was talking to a girl, he was hooking up with the girl. Absolutely. But that with the behavior matched the vibe. So I think there's something to all that is the vibe matching the behavior. And if I wanted to see, Bo's phone, I could go look at it any time. I don't even got time for that. I don't even check my kids' phone. If I can't trust you with the damn phone, I cannot. I don't have. Katie gets it. I don't have the time for this crap at all, ever.
Yeah, I've never checked phones. I feel like if I feel like I need to, then there's a bigger problem there that needs to be addressed.
Exactly.
So, yeah. For me, it's all about trust, if you really trust the person that you're with and they're talking to another woman, your gut will tell you,
Right.
Just like with my ex-husband, I knew. I never had to look at his phone. I never needed the proof. I knew what was happening.
No doubt.
And I left on a hunch, and my hunch was right. It was more right than I ever thought that it was.
That's not the right I was right about, right? That's not the shit I was right about, right?
Only a part of it. What my little hunch was just the tip of the iceberg. There was a whole mountain of ice underneath there that I didn't even know about. But
well, here, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Amber, because I think I kind of feel you right now, and that is so true. it's like maybe you have a hunch and maybe you have a hunch, and then in another month you'll have a hunch, and then you just like it builds and builds and builds until you're like, I left on a hunch, but it really wasn't like, you know, you.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that just like there were definitely conversations that I was like, wow, something's very, very wrong here. You know, like just catching them in little lies and stuff like that. Lot of lies. And then, you know, you pile that on top of your hunch that you have. And then next thing you know, you can't trust a person. If you can't trust a person, you don't need to be with them.
That one I never trusted. That was an Oogie vibe from the moment you saw him. I agree. I thought he was good looking the first time I saw him.
That's for sure.
He was
yeah.
He was it's not appropriate what I want to say. Nothing. I will get docked.
Can I say it for you, or like I just need to know the rules because I have a lot of stuff that could come.
The rules are it's shenanigans. We can say whatever we want. We are not monetized at this point. If we never get monetized, this is where we open up and talk. We have to give people something to watch. Damn it!
Where's my
watching? People are thinking we're boring right now. We need to give them something. We have 25 people watching.
Then start talking, Tara.
I'm just gonna write
hold back.
I can talk about that X years. I'd love to talk about that X years because I have never.
We could do a whole season of shows on this man.
Oh man, I don't detest too many people, but when that screwball had his phone in his hand, there was a woman on the, and I would love to call the woman on the other side a bitch, but she probably didn't know she wasn't the only one. Like this dude was unfucking real. He was so manipulative and such a gaslighter. And I'm gonna put this out there. And if she's watching this, tough shit. I don't care.
I love it.
Just wait for it because we created a group when Amber and I started hanging out. We would bond over Friday nights and we'd go out and we'd take our little boys out to eat. We were both broke ass single moms. And the only place that we could afford to go was this little pizza joint here in Derby because it was cheap. It was super cheap back then. This is like 15 years ago.
Hey, what's the name, Tara? Give me the name.
It was Taliano's, but it's gone now.
Okay. Oh, that. Okay. Yeah, that's another one that I was thinking about. But go ahead. Yeah.
No, it was it was Amber and I would pay for our meal, and then the boys were I think like 50 cents for every year of age they were. So it was a very, very cheap meal. And shut up, CB. Blessings isn't here tonight, so I can curse all I want. CB's in the chat like potty mouth. Yes, correct. I feel better about myself now. Shush. So we would go to this pizza place with the kids, and that would be our Friday night. We'd stuff ourselves silly, and then we started inviting a couple of other single moms. We just kind of got to be too big and too rowdy for that pizza joint, so we took it to our homes, and we'd have this. Eventually, the group grew and grew and grew, and it was never supposed to involve guys, but eventually, the boyfriend started showing up too. And I was like, okay, we can do this. Now it's turning into family night, whatever. And this guy, the guy that Amber was dating, I loathed this man. I mean, like, I would sit there and look at him, wanting to trip him, Katie. You would trip him. Like, you would do what I was thinking. You totally would. I'd be like, I want to trip him. And you'd be like, trip, there he goes. Oh, so we've been doing this. It got called MILF night, right? So we'd get together for MILF night on Friday nights. My ex coined the term. It was kind of funny. It was called Mommy Night. He coined it MILF Night.
It was called Mommy Night, but
it was. It turned into MILF Night. Yes. So it's like, what are you trying to say there, guy? It was a thing.
Completely on different ends of the spectrum.
It did. Nothing was going on except with the one broad, but that's completely different. Anyway, I will come back around to her.
So many stories.
So we were. We'd have our MILF nights, and there was one time.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna put myself on because hearing that makes me. I can't.
It sounds like a dirty orgy with children in the playroom. Like it sounds terrible. I know.
I never heard the term like from the other side, and now that she's laughing, I'm like, wow, we called ourselves that.
Oh no! Jimmy started that. No, remember my ex Jimmy started it. We were Mommy Night for the longest, and Jimmy is the one who pushed it, and it's stuck, especially with the one hooker we were hanging out with all the time. Katie's lost it. It's going to get better because the story's about the hooker. So this one gal that we hung out with, she would boast about she never paid for her tattoos with cash. They were always paid with other services. She was very proud of that. Yeah. We learned what ATM was through her. Let's put it that way. And I'm not, if somebody else can put that in the chat, because I'm not putting that, that one's so gross. At any rate, so she had actually ended up sleeping with Amber's boyfriend. Right. We didn't know that. He took video of this. This is what a gaslighter this guy is. Like, anytime he had his phone in his hand, there was another woman on the end of it that probably didn't know she wasn't the only one. And so one night at MILF night, he takes this video out and he's passing it around to everybody. And everybody's like, they're watching literally a porn that he created on his flip phone, his Nokia flip phone. And I was like, wait a second. I know that tattoo, the tramp stamp, because that was in that position. It was from the backside, so you couldn't see her face, but you could see the tramp stamp. I'm like, I know that tramp stamp. That tramp stamp is specific and only one person has it because it's exclusive to her. She designed it. And it was that little hooker's. And I was like, who is that? And he's like, oh, I know it looks like so-and-so's tramp stamp. But it's really not. It's not her. It's somebody else. I'm like,
in my defense. In my defense.
Now you want to defend yourself.
When he passed me the phone, he flipped it to a video of him and I. So what I saw was him and I. And I was like, well, that was me, you guys. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I did not see what everyone else was seeing.
So Tara, being the best friend to Amber, was like, oh, I'm not going to Amber, I'm going to the hooker. So I went over to the girl. I'm like, hey, so you see the video? And she's like, that's da, da, da. I'm like, it's really funny because she has your tramp stamp and he says it's not yours. And she's like, I gotta go. Like, yeah, I bet you do. But he lied, and everybody knew this girl's back tattoo. Everybody knew it because she showed them all off. She was very proud of those things. And he gaslit that entire group except for me, thinking, oh no, that's not her. That's not her. I mean, it looks just like her, but it's not her. That's your imagination. That tramp stamp is, somebody else has that same thing. So it's a constant with him. I never wanted to see somebody suffer so incessantly in my life. I still do. I'm not going to lie. I don't dislike somebody to that point. Very often I think he's the only one that I want to see. But I remember on our girls trip, I described how I would want to see the suffering. I made that clear. I won't speak to it here in case it does happen and then they have something to use in court against me. Yeah, I don't need the proof out there, but
yeah.
But yeah, he was one of those you couldn't trust him because anytime he was always talking to other women and it was not as a friend. Now he did try to put the moves on me too. Do you remember that night, Amber?
I do. I believe wasn't it the same night? No. I think it was the same night because we were at backstage.
That was a different night, but we were at backstage when is that what it was called? Because it used to be the Looney Bin. I guess it was backstage back then, wasn't it?
Backstage to the Looney Bin. Yeah.
Okay, backstage to the Looney Bin. But yeah, I got ticked off at old hooker because she wanted to get in a fight with me and over her boyfriend. I'm like, her boyfriend and I had been friends for quite some time and she didn't like us being friends. And I wasn't that type. Now, this girl was the one that when you brought a new boyfriend to the group, you had to tell him she will meet you. She will, at that time, MySpace was the thing. So you had to tell them she will MySpace you. You will accept. She will take that as a come get you. So she will private message you. You will respond because you think you're trying to be nice to one of the girlfriends. And then she's crawling into your bed. And the guys were like, yeah, right, whatever. And then every one of them were like, oh, crap. She tried to put the moves on me. Yeah, we know. She has stolen more boyfriends. And yes, hooker is a person. I'm not putting her name out there. But I don't know if she's hooker today. But I mean, it wasn't like she was getting paid for it. But she was putting it out there. Everybody... She was like the town donkey. Everybody had it right on that ass. I mean, it was just the way it was. It was, absolutely.
Hey, she's a professional.
No, she was not, because professionals keep their damn mouth shut.
I mean, she made some money off of it every now and then.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
She's loaded. Haven't you?
Yeah, that's how she got all of her tattoos, too.
No, she bargained. She bartered and traded for those.
Yeah.
And
Her
one of them,
vagina.
touche. God, gross. That is, talk about a man cave, man. Damn.
That made my night.
You're welcome.
My night.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Oh my, or is she a slut? Hooker is the politically correct way to say slut, sir. That is what CB, just so you know. We use hooker.
Sorry. I'm gonna have to mute myself.
No, because the laughter is hilarious because we're actually coming out there for reals, and the chat's on fire. Y'all scare me. The chat's on fire.
Are we just start talking about what hooker mean? Like, really, by the dictionary, sir. This is what it means. It literally starts to go down that road.
The chat will take it. No, nowadays she's a hoe. Oh, God. Back then she was too, because the term hoe was especially for Amber because the dude's name was Jay, so she was Jay's hoe, and she had been a reformed, recovering Jehovah's Witness, and that's what I called the Jehovah's Witnesses is J-ho. So if you are a Jehovah's Witness in the chat, my apologies if that does not make you laugh, but every other
I don't apologize. You shouldn't be in here. You know that. I'm turning you in.
You're about to get excommunicado, John Wick style. So yeah, so with her, like the same was true in reverse for that particular girl. If she was on the phone with somebody, it was usually a dude that she should not have been on the phone with because she was also not loyal. She was screwing around as much as Amber's ex was. Like it was so, and you got that vibe off those people. You couldn't trust them with the platonic relationship. She's just a friend. He's just a friend. Bullshit. That is, if you have to say it like that, tell me how they're just a friend. Don't tell me they're just a friend. Tell me how they're a damn friend. But I mean, like Jim, the dude that did the MILF night thing, his name was Jimmy. They called him Jim Snacks, and I still don't understand that. You are not.
I never wanted to snack on that.
Oh, Jim Snack. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah, and it was worse, Katie. He had that tattooed on his calf, on his leg. It was tattooed. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, that's my nickname, Jim Snacks. I'm like, what does it mean? He's like, I like to snack. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, it's not a cute. I don't. Oh, and you took the liberty to tattoo it. Okay, good for you, buddy.
Oh my God.
But I was not his type anyway. He much preferred the bigger girls, which is great. He moved on to her. Actually, moved on to her best friend. That was fine. He was married, divorced, married the fluffier best friend. He was just a different kind of cat all the way around. I'm still wondering what the hell I was thinking. I'm sure he's fabulous today. I don't know. I lost track of all that for a reason.
Well, can I bring something up real quick just before I have to bounce? Because yeah, I hear people behind me.
Anyway, we can't hear him. You're fine.
Well, I mean, I need to go do some other things, but earlier in the conversation and in another conversation, I remember this topic as far as you want to trust people, but then you can't, or, they burn you and then you have distrust. And let's just say it's a spouse or boyfriend, but it could be anyone in your circle of friends or family, right?
Right.
But I, for one, so in my current marriage, I mean, we've recently had I say within the past 6 months, maybe, and it got escalated. And I realized that it was because of a situation but let's just say maybe you've caught a couple of boyfriends in lies or a husband, and then you kind of like, okay. And there's always something to say about that. Like they have it's minor. But then you get into a friendship with either a girl or a man who tells you that their spouse or their partner was doing this, that, and the other. And then it's just like when you hear all of this negative betrayal, cheating, dishonesty, not even your like within you and your partner, and it's just out there and it comes back to you, it does give you a feeling like I fucking can't trust anyone. Like
Yeah, I've heard that several times from people. That is a very common feel. It's really common.
I would imagine so, because I feel like if you're a human and you have emotion and you are in tune with your relationships, then maybe you would recognize certain things or the connection between,
Right.
which I had, but I didn't realize how much of a bitch I was being, maybe. I hate to say that, but I was kind of being bitchy just because I let things from the past kind of trickle in a little bit and I didn't shut it down. So
I think that's happened to all of us. I mean, like me and my current husband, and I only say current because I've been married more than once. I've not, anyway.
So it's not the
Not
one
like
she
I have
happens-
future plans to like.
It's not the one
anyway.
she's with for the night. It's the one she's actually married to permanently.
Yeah. It's like, so I've been cheated on in the past. He's been cheated on in the past. And so our trust issues had nothing to do with each other. But when you have all this shit that happens to you in the past, it's baggage that you take into any relationship, right? So then it's learning how to navigate that, which for us it was really tough. Like we had a rough couple of years, and it wasn't always just about like a trust issue. It was just like we constantly were having to just I guess just reassure each other, because once you've been through that, you end up carrying it with you for a long time. So why are we booing Amber now? Cash.
Because Cash is being ornery. He's already booed
No.
Katie, and then I think he had Katie 2028 for president.
I guess I am not looking at the chat, but whoever is booing me, I have a word to say with you. So.
I just say this here.
I know. Yeah.
He starts shit all the shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Give me your number.
Cash her outside, no less. Well, I think with some of that, I like I said, I think it's very common that people feel that way, where they take the feelings from one relationship, the experiences from one to the next one as a form of preservation. You try to be on guard and you try to look out for those things, and then you end up kind of creating problems that didn't belong there. Hopefully they don't belong there if you're choosing differently. So I mean, I know with Bo, it took me a while after being with my ex, who was super controlling, narcissistic coping tendencies for sure, had a lot of issues. I'm sure he listens because that's what he does. He lurks in the background and has been for 8 years, and he's not going to like me saying that, and that's fine too. But it did take a while for me to, and I didn't bring it up to Bo. I took care of it on my own because I knew it was a me thing, and I had to just trust Bo in what he said and what he did. And he was pretty open up front, like, just be yourself. I like who you are. I like what I've seen. I know that you're not one way at work and one way at home. But there was a little bit of doubt of, did I choose the right person this time? I think that was what it was, is did I choose the same thing? Because I had a repetitive choice issue. I was choosing the same type of guy over and over again to some degree. And I think that's what it was. I had to learn that I could trust myself and let this guy in. And like I said, it took me a long time to even call him my boyfriend. For the longest time, he was the guy I was sleeping with. So when I called him my boyfriend by accident, he's like, "Oh."
Aw.
You're a whore.
Better than being a hooker.
I'm kidding. I love you. You're my whore.
Hey, don't make me jealous.
We just had a fight over text about you, Katie. So just so you know, we're not sure which one of us is getting you, but one of the two.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
well,
that's
all get together.
Right. Well, that was the thing. I was afraid to make that commitment in case it wasn't a legit relationship and I could back out. That was my escape plan, is if I just call this guy this thing, then it won't hurt when I have to leave him because I chose the wrong guy. And he kept consistent, and my friends are like, wow, this guy is great, he's so awesome. Like, yeah, he is. They all said that about the last guy. And guys like my ex prior to him are, they're angels in public and monsters in private. So nobody knew the crap I was going through with my exes, right? Because they put on this great front and they're like, there's nothing wrong with me. She's crazy. There's that one that we've all heard. My ex is totally crazy. And so I think that's part of the problem, is just learning to trust that we did make the right decision. Because I think once you got past that point, once you started to trust your choice, I think it got easier. And then now it's like, oh yeah, if you're talking to the girl from work, whatever, fine, cool. I'm not worried about you, because I don't worry about Bo at all messing around on me whatsoever. But he's never given me any kind of red flag, yellow flag to worry about it. No?
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Sorry.
You're good. Go.
I was just gonna, because I actually thought about this the other day. I think we all hope that our significant other isn't cheating on us or having an emotional affair or whatever, and I don't think mine is either. And I think it's my age, and you get to a certain age where it's, okay, if they're fucking around, what, I'll move past. Like, I love my husband and I love my family, but if it doesn't come out or I don't see it, and then all of a sudden you don't want to be shocked with anything. So in my mind, I'm like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Right.
Whether they did something or I did something or this person did, it's whatever just whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. And if he wants to go, he knows what the door is.
I feel the same way, Katie. I do. I know there's
exactly.
I'm not fighting for a relationship that doesn't want me.
Yeah.
If it's that, if you can't be solid in where you want to be at, then I'm not fighting for you. Now Bo says he would, as he calls it, what does he say? I'm going to say it wrong, so I'm going to wait until I have the dragon. Slay the dragon. I was going to say choke the dragon, but that doesn't sound appropriate at all either. So that's the only thing that was coming to mind. It's slay the dragon. But I think he takes that as I'm worn out. My patience and tolerance is exhausted, and I'm done. And I'm walking out. And to him, he'd be like, "Nope, I'm slaying that dragon. I don't know what dragon it is, but I'm gonna find it. And we're gonna take care of this," because he's very solid. But I am his longest relationship. He's not quite my longest yet, and that right now is his goal. And I teased him like, once we hit that, are you gonna leave and trade me up for a younger model? And of course, he's like, "No, stop that! Like, you're killing my joke. Sir, I need you to play along and tell me yes, you are. That way I can tell my girlfriends you're an asshole, and then we can bitch about you in the group chat." And he's like, "You have other shit to bitch about me about." I'm like, "True. Correct."
Sorry about any man. Sorry. I don't know. You give us enough ammo that
we just go, well, he goes back to his guy chat and does the same crap, but with more sexual innuendos, I'm sure. But I don't know. I told him, you're not looking at the girl chat, and he wouldn't ask anyway. But to joke the chick. So that's where my brain was trying to go, Cash, but it had the dragon. It was a whole battle in the head. Leave me alone.
Calling it a dragon now.
Maybe for some guys it is. I don't know. I don't want pictures. Do not send me news. Don't send me. I don't want to see any eggplant emoji type thingies at all. So stay on my DMs, folks.
Okay, so CB, I'm going to say a little something here because you are absolutely correct.
Yes.
However, we're all women, so we're talking about our issues with men. So
now, if you want to
just
come
want
up
to
on
put that
chat,
out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
up on chat, come on up and we can
I mean,
include the
honestly,
guy's
it's not.
testimony.
Yeah, like it doesn't stop with one sex or the other. It's a human problem, not necessarily a man problem or a woman problem. So
why?
So just because we're talking about men, don't assume that we think that women are, just little princesses who can't do anything
Oh,
wrong.
no.
Well, and maybe at one point, I think at one point, maybe all three of us have been guilty of the same thing based on the toxic relationship we were in.
Mm-hmm. I've cheated in the past.
I have as well. Not my proud moment, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, but it's not where I'm at today. I learned a lot about myself by making those kind of decisions. A lot. It's amazing when you reflect on it. But yeah, the women can be just as oh dog. Oh my God, CB. I can't with you,
dude.
Sir.
You just called yourself out.
I'm gonna hold on to that. When the next person says men are dogs, and be like, no, ma'am, they are hoe dogs. Let's be for real here. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Hey, so I called Tara a whore earlier. I mean,
But that was just in love.
It was
just a pet name.
Call you anything. I'm just saying,
it's not the worst thing she's called me, folks. I've been on vacations with this woman. Trust me, it's not the worst thing she's called me. Won't ever be the last thing she calls me.
Yeah, y'all are my bitch ass hoes. That's
not the first time she's called me that either. I've been called that multiple
from the
times.
heart.
I know.
No, I have seen when Amber gets serious. When Amber gets serious, now she has called me a bitch in real life, not happy terms.
Quit being a bitch.
Oh no, we were at a bar and my resting bitch face was on. She's like, if you don't knock that off your face, nobody's gonna come here and talk to us. I'm like, yeah, accurate, correct. I don't want any of these idiots, losers to come.
I was horny. I wanted them to come talk to us.
I was trying to protect
back in our single days, guys. Don't get your panties in
late 20s. We're in our early mid 40s. Mid. We're in the mid. We've officially hit mid 40s. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was very like, we are not taking anything from here home. We don't know what disease it has. It's like a bird. They all have diseases of some type. And she's like, stop it. That's what condoms.
You just gotta wrap it. You just gotta wrap it.
God.
Hey, back then I wasn't picky. I was just.
I know. Fun. Yeah, I know. I saw what you were dating. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all right.
I've got a special,
I'm number one.
I'm gonna create a special word and painting for you too.
Oh yay! I love it.
I'm writing it down right now.
Man, Kathy missed a hell of a night. She shouldn't have taken the deadlines of work. I am a good wing girl. I'm the picky one of the group. Ask Amber. I was probably I went without the most of all the girls during our late 20s hoe days when we were doing the whole hoe down. I was the picky one, but I'm 6'1". I've been the same size since Amber, I've been this size since you've known me. Like I've always been really lean. I'm 6'1", 140.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop you right now. I want to punch you in your face.
You look amazing. I look underweight. I look like
you are sexy. Like, don't even.
I love you so much. And I'm sorry to interrupt. You know, I heart you, but I'm sure there are a lot of women that hear this and they're like, she's talking about I'm the same size.
Well, I have issues though. I have medical issues that help me maintain this. I can't have steak people bite me. Okay. So get to my level and come back and tell me. But no, at my size at the bars, that was not easy to connect with anybody because most of those guys were like half my height. So they're at my boob level. And I'm like,
sit down on a chair.
Man, when I stood up though, they'd be like, wow. I'm like, I need to go. I'm not doing this. I'm not. They're as tall as my legs at this point. Not doing this. And Katie, you should know this. You're as tall as I am.
I'm not as tall as you are, but I do know what you're talking about. Like, yeah,
now imagine this: late 20s, you're single. We're out at a bar with Barbie doll. Tell me that's not going to get annoying all night long. Yeah.
What? They all gave you attention.
The hell.
No. And I mean, I have some shorter, medium, high, taller than me friends, all friends all friends are welcome.
She's an all-inclusive friendship model.
It is like strange when you're out with some people and then you feel like you're not looking at eye level, or men specifically. Although I did date men that were shorter than me, I
did too. The shortest one was 5'2", so I have ventured on the other side of the
shit. That is short.
Did you carry him around in your pocket?
He sat on my hips like a little toddler.
Like a toddler. Did you change his diaper
if
too?
He saw me saying that, he'd get so pissed with me. I was one of the few people that can make fun of his height. But yeah, I was involved with a 5'2" dude.
Okay, now, you know what? I
don't even know how that math works, but
it does. When you're, oh God.
Did you breastfeed him too?
That's probably what it looked like, I'm sure, at some point.
Don't make me take my boob out and pretend that I'm, because I will do it.
He was a nice individual. And we're still friends today.
I'm sure he was.
I think, Amber, you may have met him. I don't know, but ask me next time.
If I ever met a 5'2" guy that you were like, I was involved with him, I'd have remembered that. I don't think that I have.
You're probably right.
Maybe he was just 3 inches shorter, but it really felt like it was that big of a difference.
I boosted his chat. That chat is amazing. Oh my God, you guys. Shannon Turvey says you boosted his confidence every time I picked him up. You did a good active service. Oh my God. I hope he doesn't see this. He knows I do this show, but that would. If you're watching, dude, just know I love you. You're my friend. You're my good buddy. I feel like you're my little buddy now, like that commercial from back in the day. My buddy, everywhere I go. He goes.
If I have put him right here. Put him right here. And you walk around with him all the time.
Did you get mistaken for his mom?
No. But he was into tall women. He'd always been into tall women because he would showboat them like, I have a model. Look at this. I mean, he had to reach up, obviously, because he was that height, but he was very much into tall women since he was in high school. I'd known him for a long time. But that was his thing, was tall women. That was his, I don't know if you call it a fetish or he loves tall women. That's his thing. So
did his dick look bigger because he was so small?
Cash said something about a big. Oh my God, Cash. Look at the chat. Cunnilingus easier.
Okay, I have to take a break for a second. But I have slept with and dated a couple. One was really tall and one was shorter. And the shorter date had the bigger.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I see.
In my experience, yeah.
So the growth occurred. It just went to not
different places.
Different places.
See, Jay was really tall, so his dick was really little.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Deeper, I'm glad you were here, honey. I will text you later. Love you. Much love to you, sister.
We ran somebody off.
No, she's got to go. She's
okay.
Okay. I would say this. I was not dissatisfied during that ordeal. How about that? But it wasn't like.
What a political way to put it.
Words are my bitch. I'm a professional writer, folks. Look me up. Unlike a gerbil.
I wasn't dissatisfied with what
I wasn't dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Now, I have been surprised when you get to know the guy, and like a 6-foot guy, 5'11", and you're like, oh, okay. Did you go through puberty or no? I'm asking for a friend, because there's been times I'm like, what are you going to do with that? Does it? Okay, well, we'll work with it. I mean, there's been times that, so what you guys have experienced, that hasn't really been my experience. Now, there's one guy I'm like, where the fuck are you putting that thing? We're done. It's not going anywhere near me at all. I can't drink enough for that. No, sorry. It just gets unattractive. I know you did. I know that was the same one I saw, and I'm like, that goes nowhere. That is alien-esque. That is what that is. And how that woman, you'd have to unhinge your jaw for something like that. That is what that takes. It is too much. You have to dislocate a hip.
Holy shit!
It was a massive. It was like,
okay.
You've seen the movie Anaconda, right? It's like they shrunk that thing down.
Stop talking about it.
If you would not respond to me, I would not keep going.
I was going to say one thing before I have to drop because I'm late. I don't even know if I can say this without laughing.
Oh, look at what has been said tonight. Holy shit, come on.
I was dating someone not a long time. I bet I was younger. I won't divulge any more of that information. But I do remember getting to bed with him and, it was, and
it was happy. Is that what you were going to say?
It was happening. It was happening. And I was, anyway, it felt like,
oh my God, you are so shy right now. What is going on with Katie? What the hell?
Opposite of what you just described.
I'm so concerned right now.
Oh, I've got a story there too. Yes, continue.
Spaghetti noodle. That's what it felt like.
Wait, come again.
I had a thumb.
I've seen a thumb before.
Like,
boop, 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 boop. Yeah.
Like, wow, that's all. Wow. Super. You're not following me?
No, spaghetti. What?
It's a tiny little spaghetti noodle.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. So you were talking about you would have to. Well, why don't you tell me what you said, Tara? Unhinge your jaw, and then anyway.
So a straw worked out well. She's like, I'm not talking to you about it's shenanigans. What the fuck? Come on.
I've said too much.
I've said too much.
Oh my gosh.
No, anyway, what
how did we even get into this subject? We started with talking to people of the opposite sex on your phone.
I know that. And somehow it got
oh my gosh.
Sideways. By all of our faults, probably.
Oh my God, CB Slinger. CB Slinger. Oh my God. If we can't say it's CB or Cash will, CB said, be like George Burns. He was too old to cut the mustard, but he could lick the jar.
No.
Oh, Katie, you bent it. Oh my God. What? They're thinking you damaged some goods there, Katie.
Okay, you know what? Here's what I'll say. That's funny that you say that. That's
oh my God.
Not it. The spaghetti noodle, is that what we're going back to?
Yeah, because we haven't gotten the story yet.
It was large enough, but very thin, very small, very skinny, not large girth, Anyway, it wasn't.
So intrigued.
But that's another story.
Did you injure that? Did you injure that poor player? Did that?
No.
Did you put him on the injured list?
Cash says you snapped his banjo string.
I am going to tell you a real true story now.
The one wasn't real before? You're lying.
No, that was real. No, that was real. But I didn't do anything. No, I didn't do anything. But I didn't even really want that near me after a certain point. So anyway. But cut to.
You must be this big to ride the ride. That's where we're at now.
You've got to be this big. Anyway, no. Aaron and I were dating, not yet married, and we, Anyway, cut to intimate time. Sexy time. You know what? I did bend his. I was.
Oh no.
Well, I don't think it was fully my fault. I think it was his fault and how it, Anyway, it was a little bit of time before we could have sex again. Yeah.
What is it? The Indian snake bite? The two of the what the? Oh my God!
It was just okay. Now we're talking porn. Can we get back on track? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out how we got to. This is not the rabbit hole I thought this was going tonight. I figured
I
we'd
just had
on
to.
it.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. So
sending my regards. I adore your husband. He's a very nice man.
Yeah.
At least from this side of the marriage. I don't know about your side of the marriage, but from this side, he's great.
Yeah. I want to punch him in his face sometimes. And I tell him that. And I do punch him, actually, not in the face, but I do punch him. And he's not surprised.
That's what he signed up for. That's what he signed up for.
It was in their vows.
I know. He says, you know what you were getting when you got with me. And I was like, and you know what you were getting. Like, so I'm sorry that I may punch you in the face sometimes. I'm sorry.
And it won't be for texting anybody else. It'll just be because you're in the mood and damn it, you shouldn't have done that.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't punch you in the face. But don't.
How long have you guys been together now?
15 years.
Oh wow. How long have you been? Yeah, 15. Okay.
Well, we've been our 12th anniversary is coming up in January, and then we were together for several years before that. Married for that length of time, but dated.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, he's a doll. I heart him, love him. I carry him around in my pocket too.
Yeah, you do that.
Because he is taller than me.
As I say, I thought he was taller than you and I both.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's like 6'2" or 6'3", isn't he?
6'3", I think, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But
sweetest guy. He's he's great.
Oh God, if he were near the door, I'd have him. No, he is very sweet, and he is a god for putting up with my bullshit. But I am a goddess for putting up with his bullshit.
I like that attitude.
That's the way that it should work, really.
That is the way it should work.
That's what real long-term relationships are about. It's not about being in love. It's putting up with their bullshit. Patience and tolerance, which is what Bo taught me.
And laughter. You have to you have to laugh. Like more than not. Yeah. That's what really. Yeah.
Agreed.
Anyway, I got to drop because I'm sure we had a game time planned with Ashton and stuff. So
you're good. I'm glad you were here. That was the chat. You're one of the chat favorites.
Oh, well, I can't see the chat. So if y'all love me, I love you back. And if y'all hate me, I'm sorry. And we'll just agree to disagree. I don't know.
That works. All righty. We will do this next week with you.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
She's adorable. She's so much fun.
I love her.
I know people are like there was all the jokes about giving her another drink. That is actually Katie just being Katie. That is not alcohol induced. That's why she is so much fun and such a blast to hang out with, because she is just naturally that
off the rails.
Yes. Yes.
I love that. I love it so much.
She is so cool. CB, you would laugh your ass off at us if you met us face to face. We're all such unique individuals. And the first time we did our first girls trip, that was the comedy club, wasn't it? Over in Tulsa when we went to go see Kristen Key. Wasn't that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the first time for all four of us to be in the same space together. I mean, we'd done a couple of brunches before, but it was a larger crowd. And, we just all click so well because we're so different, but we don't mind the bullshit between one another. We can openly talk and say the things and then tell each other to shut up and stop being bitchy. And we're like, all right, fine. I guess we'll tone it back a little bit for you. So she is naturally that way. The personalities you get on this show from all five of us is how we naturally are. It's, we just get to be a little bit more open and a little bit more unhinged, because it's shenanigans, and that's what it's supposed to be about. You're supposed to be able to unlock and unleash and just open up, which is why we talk about the things that, other people don't want to talk about, like, can you text somebody outside of your relationship if they're the same sex as your partner? I know some of the other things that we've, talked about is death and mortality and psychics and some really cool stuff. We've got some heavier subjects coming up. I probably shouldn't have said heavier because the next mistake we're going to talk about weight. So that's probably not the best segue for that, but okay. Oops. But talking about those things out there, they're important. We need to know how to just put things out there, even if we're going to be funny about it. And I know some people have been like, hey, don't laugh about that. It's not funny. But I get that some people don't find it funny. They find it very serious. And at the same time, humor heals. And I can't say how many medical people have told me that humor is one of the best medicines. Laughter is one of the best medicines, even if it's
absolutely.
And even with Carrie's situation, she's going through a horrific, awful, terrible experience that no parent has any desire to experience. And yet there's been times that, because I'm so confident in the power of laughter, I've gotten her to laugh, and she's like, God, I feel bad for laughing, but at the same time, I needed to just have a little bit of an emotional break. And so, and again, we've said it before, Shenanigans it's not a feel-good spot necessarily. It's not a safe space. It's a space. We come here, we open up, we talk, we try to lighten the mood up when it gets a little grim. But that's why these personalities are so great together. Having shameless Amber, who's like, yeah, I'll say it, I don't give a damn. And then me, who will just add to that. And I feed off the other girls. I really do, because I like for them to feel comfortable and keep doing what they're doing. And so there's always going to be some sort of shenanigans taking place on here. And tonight was so very cool to get some really raw stuff out there. And some of it inappropriate as hell. I get it. Not everybody's going to want to hear the stuff that was talked about. And not everybody's going to hear some of the things that are going to get talked about next week. Hopefully I can get my nurse friend to come up. She's got a strong opinion about, the weight situation, because she's medical. So she's got a really strong opinion about it. She's going to come off probably pretty strongly and pretty brash to some people, and that's okay. I would much prefer that openness and that honesty than somebody hiding it and then bitching about it after the fact, like they couldn't. Everybody else got to say their thing, but I didn't get to, and I don't want that to be the thing. And so CB's saying, y'all bash us men folk. If you guys would come up, you men folk are the only people aside from Ro that has come up on panel to talk. You can come up anytime. I have lots on weight. But yeah, the weight subject needs to come up. I had somebody mention porn. So I'm kind of glad that Katie mentioned that earlier, even though if it was funny. Porn is a really big can be a really big issue for folks. I've never experienced that myself, so I'm really interested in what other people have to say about that. I've got a couple that want to talk about neurodiversity. So there's all kinds of stuff that we're going to talk about. And there's going to be humor thrown in there just because it's healing. And so hopefully these things help you out. Hopefully the humor and the shenanigans, all the BS, the bullshittery that goes on is worth it. And Teresa, that's Shannon. That's really sweet that you say that. Shannon said, I love the humor. This podcast makes me feel so much better after a shitty day. And I appreciate that. That's the whole idea. It's supposed to be kind of that runway towards healing, right? It's a trailblazing towards the path of healing and feeling better about crap. Oh my God, CB Slinger, you're hard to focus, sir. It's hard to read the chat. If you guys are listening
You're
after
all
the
over
fact,
the place sometimes.
He's awesome. If you guys are listening in after the fact, I always leave the chat live. Read the chat. Watch CB. He's a hemorrhoid for a reason. He's our local hemorrhoid. It works out well. We need somebody to irritate the assholes of life, and he does well with that. But yeah, Shannon, I agree. It's very therapeutic to come on here, have a good couple of belly laughs, and talk about some real stuff. And yeah, maybe talking about platonic relationships and romantic relationships isn't the most controversial thing that we've come up with, but we're just getting started. I think, like I said, next week, if I get my nurse friend to come up, we'll talk about weight and what it means. Just like Katie was talking about, people are going to get annoyed that I mentioned I'm 6'1" and 145, and I've been this size forever. It's not necessarily my choice, folks. I've got a couple of medical issues that Keep me at this size. I've not much I can do about it. There's foods I can't have. And other people, my sister, I know that she won't mind me saying this because she's on her journey. She is overweight and she has a hard time getting rid of the weight, but she has medical issues as well. So, and we even had a chat in, there was the Facebook group had an open chat about it, and there's some really great perspectives on that. And so that is it's the whole point of Shenanigans is we are going to get inappropriate. If it's sexual, if it's cursing, if it's controversial, it is going to get inappropriate. That is the whole damn point. I want us to be inappropriate. I want us to stretch the boundaries. I want us to flirt with the comfort zones. And I want you guys to get to that next level that you've been wanting to get to, but you didn't know where to go to get there. That's what Shenanigans is all about. So, yeah, that's my big, long monologue. So boring. What do y'all think? Oh, Texas Blue Bonnets, that's awesome. She says the humor and pure honesty here is refreshing. Thank you. I like that. Marcus says to not forget to hit the like button on your way out. That's kind of like, don't let the door hit you on your way out. If you're upset, great, leave, but hit like first on your way out. That'd be great.
But then CB follows it up with "Don't get a blow up pig doll; they'll squeal on you." So
read
all
the
kinds
chat.
of good advice here.
Read the chat. And that's the thing. I closely watch the subscribers count. It doesn't always tell me who's all subscribed, so don't worry if you're subscribed. You don't want anybody to know you're listening. Don't worry. I probably can't see your name. But we've got a few subscribers. That's okay. We're going to go up and down in those. This isn't about the subscribers. It's not about the likes. I love the guys you guys show. I love the fact you guys show that support because that's super important. And it's definitely motivating. My favorite, oh my God, my uncle's in the chat tonight. God dang it. Crap. You had not shown yourself all night long, sir. You show yourself now. I was worried that we were talking about some of the stuff we're talking about. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, my uncle is watching. And it's like having God watch you, right? It's like Jesus. You've seen that meme where Jesus is over around the corner. He's like, I saw that. That's how I feel about my uncle watching the show when we do some inappropriate crap like this. God dang it. I need to show my hands. That reminds me. Let me put my hands on the screen for my uncle so you can see them. But so the likes and the subscribes, they're awesome. They definitely show support, and I can see that support firsthand. The Shenanigans crew can see that support firsthand, so I appreciate it. If you don't do those things, the views are super important. That's where it's really sends the channel up. I'm not doing this to be monetized. The girls aren't doing this to be monetized. It's fun if we get monetized because that would just be girl trip money. And can you imagine a girls trip with Shenanigans? I'm just saying, think about the possibilities. They're endless. If we're on a girls trip and we do a Shenanigans, it could be fun. There might be more drinking.
No, Cash. We did not have a MILF orgy party.
Oh my God.
We did not. It never happened.
No.
No,
but I wish we wouldn't have called it that now because looking back as a 45-year-old on our late 20s days, you're like, ew, that probably wasn't appropriate with little kids around at all.
Yeah, our children were there. Okay, Cash.
You're not making it better, Amber. You're not making it sound any better at all. Oh my gosh. I need a picture of a MILF for future reference. We are. Do you know what MILF stands for?
Hello, we're right here.
Somebody
Take
put
a
MILF
screenshot.
in the chat. Yeah, somebody put the MILF spell out in the chat. I mean, gosh. So that is what this whole thing is about. I love that you guys are here. I love that you guys engaged. It's way more important to me to see you guys engage in the chat, engage with us. We can't. Shannon just put it right out there. That's awesome. I love Shannon. Shannon's great.
Okay, CB, yes, we're cougars now, but back then we were MILFs, okay?
Back then we were Panthers. We were old enough to be cougars, but we were Panthers disguised as MILFs. Remember? That's what I used to say. We were on our way to be cougars. We hadn't graduated.
Yeah, well, we had small children, so at the time we technically were MILFs.
We're still MILFs, but we're cougar MILFs. I'm not taking anything home that if I go to a guy's house and I recognize it as his dad's house and I'm not, no. I've seen that Instagram before. I'm not interested in the whole who's that song, what's your name? What's your daddy's name? I'm not interested in that song and that whole experience. We're gonna pass on that. Gross. No. So But yeah, no, you guys being in the chat and engaging with us is super important to me. I know the girls love seeing the chat, the ones that can. Obviously, Katie can't, but the support. It's a small channel. It's just getting started. Hopefully, we can grow it so people feel really good about coming to a channel where they can openly talk, get things off their chest, have a few laughs, and maybe even feel a little bit better by the end of it all. So, what do you think, Amber?
Well, I totally agree. Totally agree. It's always a little bit of fun being here. And anybody who's brave enough to come on and listen, yeah, you're probably definitely going to feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
Definitely. After a laugh or two.
Agreed. I haven't seen any soccer moms playing soccer either. CB Slinger. Oh my gosh. Him and Cash. Oh goodness. Well, I think for tonight, I think we're probably good. I think we did a much better. I covered the things I really wanted to cover. Oh my gosh, words are hard. I covered the things I really wanted to cover tonight with the subject matter. So I'm glad we revisited that. And again, I'll talk to my friend and see if she will come on next week. It's Thanksgiving week, so I'm not sure what her plans are. And she's a nurse. Those schedules are kind of hectic, but I would really like to talk about weight and get her perspective of it and see what she was trying to get across. I know what she said to me, something she feels super strongly about. So maybe we can go in that direction. If not, I'll find something. I'd say Thanksgiving appropriate, but that's not going to happen. It's shenanigans. It's not supposed to be. We're gonna de-stress everybody before they go into the whole Thanksgiving cooking fest. So that is where we will be at.
We can talk about what we're thankful for.
So awkward. But I cannot believe you just did that.
I actually rendered you speechless for like 3 seconds.
All the things in my head were not flipping appropriate. There's family in the chat, damn it. Oh my gosh. I'm thankful for my uncle because I found my uncle. I'm thankful for my sister in the chat. I'm thankful for Cash and Margaret and CB Slinger and Uncomfortably Numb and all I just going up the list now. That's what I'm thankful for. How about that? That
was lovely.
It's
Tara.
not done yet. There's a whole bunch more people like it. God, you're a pain in the ass. She's the only one of the very few people on this earth that can make me speechless. It's rare, but she can do it. Oh my gosh. All righty. I say we call it a night. We come back next week and we have more shenanigans. Margaret, I will have my Jameson Black in front of the Jameson Orange in the cabinet for you. I'll have a little hit of it.
Sounds delicious.
I know. I love Jameson Black, but didn't have it tonight. We had that wine, which I'm still not sure about. I may have to give it up and give it to the boys. So you guys have a good night. Find us on Facebook at SheNanigansTalks. Instagram, I haven't put anything up on there yet, but I need to get the girls and I need to get our videos going again because those are fun to do. And then if you want to get a hold of me, just go to the Facebook page and get a hold of me that way. That'll be simpler than me trying to go through all the number and the Gmail account. I didn't put that up tonight. So just find us on Facebook and we'll have some more conversations up that way. But in the meantime, you guys have an awesome Tuesday. We will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.